Hello, my name is Jeff Slowick. This is Human Resource Strategy Paper Video Presentation, Human Resource Management class, National American University. This is a strategy paper on General Motors Incorporated. In 1908, Buick Motor Company had William Durant spend $2,000 to incorporate General Motors in the state of New Jersey. His plan was to merge car companies under one to give more of an option to the people. Durant was forced out of General Motors as he was the head from 1908 to 1910, and in 1911 went into business with the Chevrolet brothers, in which moved to Flint, Michigan. One of the first vehicles was the 1916 Chevy 4Niner, which Durant answered to the Ford's Model T. In 1918, Durant bought enough stock to regain General Motors and continue building the car company for the future. The money from the stock came from a wealthy family, which is the DuPont family, and in 1920, Pierre DuPont, who owned the chemical company, rose to the chairman of GM's board and became president. He forced out Durant that same year after the company had stalled and was no longer going forward for the future. And in 1922, William Knudsen leaves Ford as head of manufacturing and becomes Chevrolet's production chief and later vice president of operations. And in 1924, he vows to match Ford's 1-for-1 in sales. Chevy produces many cars to include the 1936 first Suburban, the 1953 Corvette appears, 1955 model year introduction of Chevy's first V8 to the tone of the Bel Air, which was one of the best cars ever made, and in 1967 the first Camaro makes its debut. General Motors' main product is to sell automobiles. They have several different brands to include the makes of Chevy, Buick, and GMC under their umbrella. These cars range from economy cars like the Chevy Cruze and the electric Volt to sports cars like the Camaro and the Corvette. General Motors also deals with light trucks like the Chevy Silverado and SUVs as in the GMC Arcadia. They lead the way in the automotive department with vehicles outside the normal range such as emergency vehicles and school buses. GM's main competitors in the automobile arena are Ford Motor Company, Honda Motor Company, and Toyota Motor Company, just to name a few. The location for the GM headquarters is in Detroit, Michigan, and it has main offices and sells cars in over 140 countries, which the primary market is China and the United States, in which the United States leads in all markets around the world, to include Europe and South America. Selling cars, General Motors has some competitive advantages. First, let's define competitive advantages. It's a condition that puts a company in a superior position of its competitors. GM has defining competitive advantages over its counterparts when it comes to the automobiles. One of those is the OnStar. OnStar provides a driver a unique ability to call someone that is live on the other line from a button inside their vehicle. This live person can get anything from directions to a tow truck to medical help if needed. Other car makes come close to what GM has provided, but still, General Motors holds the top spot in this area. Another one is manufactured at a lower cost. This lower cost does not mean their cars are not made at the top or superior, but it gives the buyer a better option to buy a car within their budget, since there is a lot to be produced under the GM umbrella. A third is better research and development. They have an estimated $8 billion per year that they put out for research and development to advance their cars every year. GM has many cars to offer through several companies. With this, they have a strong presence in China and the United States, giving another advantage in the industry. Under human resource advantage, GM is very diverse when it comes to the workforce. Its diversity strategy is based off the global market in which the operation in. Being diverse gives GM the best people in the company to advance further in the industry without no problems at all. It was named in Diversity Inc. as one of the top 50 companies in that realm to work for. GM is very proud of its career path of many veterans. In 2016, GM was the only automaker named Best for Vet in Military Times. 2016 also showed that over 14,000 employees are veterans that work in different positions across the country, and basic automotive skills to a manager to working and building their vehicles. Other recommendations for General Motors to think about. Work with technology in college and universities to further advance the use of other materials than fossil fuels to power their automobile engines. Car manufacturers have gone great strides to get electrical cars on the road and further advance the opportunity in the cars for the future. If other avenues are worked on or looked at, it would change the industry and change how we take care of our planet. This could lessen the waste from automobile factories in the form of air pollution or ground pollution and possibly gain more jobs in the end. Another one GM can consider is a swap between overseas employees to make them part of the team and to increase the value of each person in the organization. We see that GM is well diverse, and this might help breathe different life into cars or just teamwork to give more value in each person's section location by the way they train, values, and the ethics they bring to the team. Each area in each country have its own values, training, and ethics. If they can contribute to go back and forth and change locations for weeks on end or maybe months, this could bring more recommendations to GM as far as either A, how to combine and make the automobile, save money in different automobile functions, or just the strategy that comes forth to making GM a better workplace to be in. Now let's go look at conclusions. In conclusion, General Motors Company is a powerhouse in the automobile industry. It's comprised of several different brands under one roof in one direction. However, each area, such as Chevy, Buick, and GMC, go a different route in how they work in the business itself. They lead through innovation, such as the electric car, on-stall services, and research and development, just not only for the GM products, but also some of their industry and research and development goes to other car companies to help them out make the best cars on the road. GM's diverse background leads the way into the next generation of car enthusiasts and for individuals who desire just a dependable car at the right price. Their diversity shows in their human resources as they walk through in many different areas in many different countries to make the car company lead at the front. They hire the best personnel and train them in just not in the automakers, but train them and to lead in 140 countries around the world. Once your name is on it, you want to make sure that your name stays there, dependable and reliable, not just for themselves, but for the world around it.